Jewelry, by BDK, handmade magic in every hue, color in the beat, story in the line, art on your skin, let your spirit shine. Jewelry by BDK, bold, divine, crafted with love, one beat at a time. Wear your truth, let your style speak loud. This is jewelry by BDK. Stand strong, stand proud.
Well, hey family, we are going to use another pair of the blanks. So I went ahead and I painted, so I have a lot of them painted up over here. So we're going to use these blanks right here. The backs are gold. These are the front, very little lightweight thingies. So we're going to do something really cute with these. And I'm going to use some of this recycled aluminum wire. And we're going to see what we can do with this. So I'm going to unwind this. This is just a piece of aluminum wire that I had. And I call myself making a spacer with it. But once I made the wire spacer, I didn't want it. So this ended up in my little, maybe I could use it, maybe I can't box. So what I'm going to do is I am going to leave the end rolled up like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the actual ear blank that I painted. I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to lay the wire on top. So you probably can't see this because what I might have to do. So I'm going to lay the wire on top and I'm basically going to wire wrap this like I do the beads. So you probably won't see this part. So hold on a second. And I'm going to take it through the back, on the back. I am going to bend it upward on the back like that because I want some decoration on the back. And then I'm going to bring it back around like that. Make it nice and flat. And then I am going to bring it around to the front. And then what I'm going to do is start shaping the wire on the front. Just kind of designing it on the front like this. And holding on to it and do it like this. And then I'm going to take it around like this. So what I have to do is bring the back, this part back up right here because I need it to stay. So I'm going to do that like that. We can do that. And I think what I can do is I can bring this wire probably, because it is pretty tight right there. It's not loose. But I do want to wrap a piece of this wire somewhere. So let's see if we can do that. If we can't do that, no worries. We did try, but I'm thinking because this is nice and tight right here. It's nice and snug. And I really don't want to, let's do this. I'm going to cut it about right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll it close like that. And then just smash it. And then that way it's pretty snug on there. But I'm thinking what I can do is maybe kind of take this snug part, this little part right here, bring it, because I don't want it to look, actually this is pretty snug right here. So let me take this back right here and just roll that. because that's already snug. And then let me pull this up like this. Oh, I wrapped it too far. See how far I wrapped it? So now I gotta, let me do this. I'll cut that part off. I wrapped it too far. Okay. So now we'll just wrap it right back like that. And it's just a matter of pressing the wire against it and making it nice and snug. So also, let me see. Now it's loose, but you can't pull it off. So that's cool as long as you can't pull it off. And I'll wear these myself just to kind of test them out, because there is a way that we can probably, let me wrap the second one too, and then we're gonna see what we're gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with this right here. So I am going to take one of these beads right here. That's why I didn't want to bring the wire all the way up right here, because I'm thinking, oh no, that works. And then we'll go ahead and close that down like that. That's already a cool earring, right? That is already really cool. So then we are going to take another jump ring. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put silver on this one. I may not even use the same color. So then we got another jump ring. And you can just make all kind of earrings like this. I mean, paint these babies and just kind of decorate to your heart's desire. Like just whatever you pretty much want to do to them. Not whatever you want to do to them, but you know, you can think up some really cool things to do. Okay. And again, remember, you can use the smaller jump rings. Now this part, you won't be able to use a small jump ring because of having to connect, you know, the bigger bead to the bottom part. So this is like really cool stuff right here. And I could even see this as longer. So let's do this. Let's put one more jump ring on here. And it's basically just use your imagination. Let's see, this one, we might have to put, just make them nice and long. Your imagination is the only thing that limits you. And a lot of times people don't know that they like what they see until they see it. So like that. Or I might just do it. This is really, really a cool earring, right? But then I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, do I want to take wire through here and then bring the wire up and then close it off and do that? Or just keep going with the jump rings? I think I'm going to just do the 2 jump rings. Yeah, we'll just stop at this right here. But I probably will do some earrings. Oops, let's put this on. I probably will do some earrings like that. Just put the wire through right here, this part, and bring the wire up and then close it off. And then that is so cool. Okay, what we're going to do for the second one, we are going to use some silver color wire. So let me cut this piece off. And the only reason why I'm using this silver wire is because this is not going to be enough, this piece, nor will that piece be enough. So we're just going to use what we got. So I'm going to go ahead and close the end off. Make sure it's nice and closed like that. I'm going to kind of bend it a little bit. And then a phone. And then phone be hot. And And I am going to wrap, take the wire. This is our blank. And I want to do it about midway because remember I have to put this bead up here. So I'm going to just do it like this and bend it to the back. Being careful because remember it's really soft wood. And I need to bend the back somehow. Not somehow, but just kind of bend the back like that. And that kind of makes a frame almost to allow the earring to fit and sit in it. So it's like a frame. And then if I do that right there, and then I want to bring the wire around, right? So we basically creating a type of frame. Now we want to fold that down. Start bending that wire. Bend it and then bend it back up. So bend it up. So it looks like that. Bend that down right there. Bend it back up. Okay. And then I need to take it, bend it back up. Hold on. And it gets a little slippery. But then I'm going to push that right there. And then I'm going to bring it around the back. Like that. So now it's the frame, right? And these are some of those cute, quick little earrings you can sell. You could even make them because these little ear blanks are so inexpensive. These could be like sauce items. You know, everything does not have to be a high ticket item. It's like just work high quality, the best quality that you can make. Have your high ticket items at the table, and then have some mind blowing sauce items at the table that make people like, oh my God, really? That's how much? And you know how much you pay for these things. I think I paid $2 and some change for these things at Hobby Lobby because they were on sale. So even like with this, I would actually need to, I'm going to bend this down a little bit. I'm going to bring it down a little bit because you see how it's a little loose, right? But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end part right here and bring it back around right here. And I'm going to just fold it behind here. And then all that does is it locks it in. See? And that makes it secure. So all you're doing is creating a frame. And I'm going to make tighten this up a little bit more. And then you got to make sure it's the thicker wire too. So this silver aluminum wire is not that thick. So this is, I think, 15 gauge. That aluminum wire is 15 gauge and it stays. So if you do this, make sure you use a wire or aluminum wire that's thick enough to where it'll stay. Because I know a lot of people will hammer things and do all that kind of stuff. So whatever you got to gauge, you got to get to make sure that it's thick enough to stay once you create that frame for it. You know, by all means do that. So then we just going to grab our other little flat, and you're probably going to need quite a few flat beads, different type of flat beads, if you're going to be putting them, you know, like on here. So then that's this one. And we'll go ahead and flatten that. How pretty is that, right? Just really pretty. Grab another jump ring, close that off. Oops. Jump ring. Oh shoot, hold on. Okay, and then we need one more jump ring. then a jump ring, and then an ear wire. Okay, and these are some quickies, all of about 10 or 15 minutes or so. Oh, I put that on backwards. Hold on. So you can make some really cute dangles using these blanks. So once you paint them, right? Once you paint them, you can make something just like really, really cute. And make sure that the wire, if you use, even if you use this type of wire, the copper wire, make sure it's like 16 gauge because that's strong enough to fit around the actual blank and stay, or 15 gauge aluminum wire, nice and thick or thicker, just so you can create that frame, and then the blank fits within the frame and it won't, come out. So you can fold it around it, fold it down nice and tight, and then you kind of got what you got right here. And these can easily be like sauce items because, I always talk about sauce items, right? Also, you don't have to use the jump rings. You can use wire. So you can take the wire, put the wire through. Actually, I'll show you real quick. You can take the wire, put the wire through, and then you can have your closure that way. Do I got some wire up here? Let's just grab a piece of wire just to kind of show. I'm not going to keep it because I like it with the jump rings like that, but I'm going to show you something real quick. So if we take a piece of wire, and I would use 18 gauge wire, and you can literally just go ahead and you can do it this way. Go ahead and fold that wire. And then that's how that is going to look. And then however you want to close this off, I know people use that little tool that gives it a perfect circle. If that's what you want to use, by all means use that, right? Or if you're just trying to make it to where it looks absolutely handmade, this is what I like to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this around, and I'll show you. And I kind of like it with the wire. So I'm not going to keep this wire though. I'm going to just show you what it can look like. So you can actually grab this and just close it off. Try not to let it look tacky because I'm not going to keep it anyway. Close that down. So you can also just do that. And let's see. Put a wire. So there's different ways that you can close it off. The way that I did it with the jump rings, or you can do it with you can take it and close the wire off, wrap the wire, and you can make it this way, or you can just do it with the jump rings, and it's up to you. And if you know another way to be able to close it off, by all means, just try different. If you plan on doing any of these, just try the different ways and see which one, you like. Or better yet, if you're out somewhere selling, try it different ways and see which one sells the best. And then that is the direction you want to go in. And of course, have some little extra ones like, if these sold the best, I would basically do these, and then have a couple of these like this on the side, because somebody might still like this way, or the same person that buy them this way might also like them this way, as long as the blanks, are, different pairs of earrings and stuff. But these are really cool. I like these. You guys let me know what you think. But I'm getting ready to do a whole lot with these little blanks. I really like these. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with them, but 40% off of whatever that little cheap price was, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to try them and then see, because I've never, thought to be using blanks and stuff. That ain't my thing. So it's like, I said, well, let me try these, because I went down the aisle. So I said, let me go ahead and try them. But I do like the way they look. You guys let me know what you think. Darling Knight for Jerry by VDK. And guess what? We'll talk.